Hello, and we are back with episode 24 of the Overdue Sports Show. I'm your host, Jake Sawinski, accompanied, as always, by Will Massa. How we doing, Will?
Just a couple more sleeps until college football. So we're gearing up. We've got our final preview episode today for college football. And then from here on out, it'll be live shows talking about our favorite picks week to week.
Yeah, I'm excited for that new format, too. And I know sometimes people in the Twitterverse can be really knowledgeable or really dumb. And I think it's going to be fun to filter through some of that feedback if we can fill up a chat room.
We're also both.
Yes, at the same time. Like you should have listened to us workshop like for the last 45 minutes to an hour, like listening to us work through some of these picks we like. Could be brilliant, could be dumb. And this is how it's going to go. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yours are like, say we each had 4 and we're going to go 2 and 2. Yours are going to sound really smart and 2 of them are going to hit. Mine are going to sound really dumb, and 2 of them are going to hit.
More than likely, yeah. Although if we are on the same page, it's either really, really good. Like it's either no sweat. It's pretty much no sweat, but in either direction. It's either we nailed it and it's not even close, or it's dead in the first quarter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like me betting on an under in a baseball game yesterday, and they score 7 runs in the first inning, and I had under 9. So it's like one of those. It'll be like that, we promise. But like Will said, it's going to be the last episode we're going to do college football, like preseason bets, you could say. And last time, I think that was 2 weeks ago, we didn't do one last week. We talked about the Heisman picks and championships. Do you want to recap what you did real quick for the people before we move into the new ones? Or I don't know if you placed them yet, but I placed mine this morning or yesterday morning.
Alabama to win the national championship, 10-1.
That's all you did?
Yeah, I didn't play. I do like Lenore Sellers to win the Heisman. I don't know if they're going to be good enough to do it, so I didn't play it. But
okay.
If you're somebody that likes to sprinkle a lot of futures, I think he's worth a sprinkle. But Bama to win the national championship is, like I mentioned, hands down my favorite play. 10-1, I think, is a really good price for that. So
yeah, I tailed you on that one. You talked me into that one 2 weeks ago. So that is one that you're not going to be able to see die right away unless they lose to Wisconsin and a couple other games along the way, because that would probably mean it's over for them. But I tailed them as well. I got them at 10-1. I also played Texas at plus 550. I like them. I've been, I don't know, last year with the Ohio State kind of dream. What's the word I'm looking for? It just came to me. It's like the epiphany. It's like Ohio State's going to, that's the word I was looking for. Ohio State's going to win this year. I'm going to try that again this year. So Texas is my favorite play, but I like the whole narrative that like the Alabama dynasty is dying. Really like that. It seems to be a trendy kind of direction we're going. So I play Alabama as well. And then I was pretty consistent with my Heisman picks. I went with Klubnik and Nussmeier. One was plus 850 or 9-1, and one was plus 950. Don't remember which one was which, but 2 of the middle ones there. And then I did Carson Beck for the memes. Like I talked myself into that one too. Like I'd be angrier if like my joke came to fruition and he won and I didn't play it, as opposed to me playing a little bit and it loses. So we're a Carson Beck guy this year, but as long as Arch Manning doesn't like skull fuck me, we're gonna be good, because I really think one of the 2 I played in the 8 to 9-1 range you're gonna win. Nothing else though, huh?
No, just the national champion. There are some ones on this list that I may be playing in terms of the win total. I don't know if there's a conference champion that I will actually play. There's a couple that I like. Haven't decided if I'm going to play them, but there are some win totals that really have my attention. So
yeah, and like I've noticed some trends that like we can kind of get into, things that we're seeing with kind of where the numbers were at, but like you said, I don't know how many of these I would play either, just because it's like Do you really want to play Clemson at minus 150 to win the ACC or take their win total at 10.5? To me, that's kind of unbettable. Or, like, not that it's unbettable. It's just probably not worth playing. You know what I mean? Like, what if Miami actually figures it out this year? They beat Clemson and they win 10 games. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Finding edges is a little tough with some of these anyways, with some of the conferences that you kind of know are locked down. So why don't you lead us off? What's a conference winner that you were looking at that you kind of liked?
Well, I think you know exactly where I'm going with this. So I'm just going to go to the SEC because I'm just doubling down here. Alabama plus 380 to win the SEC championship. So this is an interesting one. And it's one of those things where, like, with the 12-team playoff, I don't feel vindicated to take them to win the SEC if I have stake in them to win the national championship, because they can lose the SEC and still get in. So it's just a weird time now where it's not like a clear path, if that makes sense, to where if they win the conference, they have a really good chance to win the national championship. They can still get in without doing it. However, I think plus 380 is a pretty good price here. And a play I like. I mean, we talked about it before the show as well. Like, outside of Texas and Georgia, it's kind of, and I feel like there's a couple of teams that could be in the mix. Like, I think A&M could make some noise. I don't think they're SEC championship good. I feel similarly with LSU, despite Garrett Nussmeier coming back. I think Brian Kelly is just constantly going to be a roadblock for that.
Yeah,
team.
he
So
costs them a game or two. Every year. And the same thing with Lane Kiffin too. Like, and I don't think it's more so Lane Kiffin like it is with Brian Kelly. I think they just always seem to drop a game they shouldn't. Like, Brian Kelly actively costs them 1 to 2 wins every year. And like, their fate is dependent on whether that 1 grows to a 2 or even a 3. Yeah. So I'm with you there.
Alabama though. Alabama is probably one of my favorite conference winners. There's not really anyone down the list that I would consider. I guess if you really think that Florida takes the next step this year, like maybe, but I don't think that's in the cards. So Alabama plus 380 is one of my favorite conference winners to win the SEC.
Yeah, that one's always a little scary too, just because there's so many heavy hitters in that conference.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure about Georgia though, and I don't want to be like the guy who's like, oh, this is it for Georgia, because like that never bodes well, right? It's like Max Kellerman being like, Tom Brady's career is going to fall off a cliff in 2016. The guy wins 3 more Super Bowls and he plays 7 more years. So I don't want to be that guy, but if Gunnar Stockton, I'm assuming he's their quarterback, if he didn't make tremendous strides this offseason, I think they're going to struggle a little bit on offense. Like, they can run the ball. Georgia's running back university. They have been for a long time. So, like, I don't think they're going to struggle to win games, but like those high-profile games, at the end of the season, like maybe they're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage keeping up with teams that can. Look at that Notre Dame game. I don't think Carson Beck was necessarily the answer last year as a whole, because they kind of struggled on and off all season. And Notre Dame's defense was good, but they were especially anemic. And I think Georgia might just kind of be one of those really good defensive teams and have not passable offense, but like not, just throw the ball to Brock Bowers and then hand it off to Trevor Etienne, whoever. You know what I mean? I think I think it's just going to be a different style out of Georgia. I don't know if they're going to beat teams as convincingly as they have in the years past, but they'll still be good. I'm not trying to say they're going to be bad. They're still scary. But you mentioned Penn State too. And this is where like worlds collide, because like I like what you're thinking based on the betting odds in the win total too, right? Because I think they were at 10.5 wins plus 240 to win the conference. But it's just James Franklin.
He never wins the big. He never does.
He never wins the big game.
Their schedule, I'm going to be honest, is easy, but they have Oregon and Ohio State. They're at Ohio State, and they're home against Oregon in Happy Valley.
Yeah, and I think that's a game they can win. I don't think they're going to win the Ohio State game.
I don't think they will either. But if they beat Oregon and they win out 11-1, I really, really, really like the win total. The win total I think I like more than the conference championship, because that would be under the assumption that Ohio State runs the table and they face off with Ohio State again in the championship game. So
yeah, and I mean,
at plus 240, I think it's a pretty good deal, because you're kind of gonna know. I mean, they play Oregon on September 14th. I think that's week 3. So they play Oregon early. If they beat Oregon, then as long as they don't stumble along the way, you can kind of just kick your feet back, and whatever happens against Ohio State is whatever happens. And again, under the assumption that they run the table outside of Ohio State, they should be in the championship game. So then you at least get a shot back at it. So I really actually like both of those plays. This one, I think I might take back my statement. I think I like this one more than I like Alabama. This is probably the most likely play for me, is Penn State to win the conference. However, I do really like the win total. I know we're talking about that later in the show, but I'm double dipping just like I did Alabama, because I like this one. So Penn State win total as well as Penn State conference championship are my favorite plays in the Big Ten.
Who knows, though? That could even be like an ODS play. But the only thing where do they play Michigan? In Ann Arbor?
No, I thought they were at home against. They are.
Or did they not play them?
They're at. No, they don't play Michigan. They're at Iowa. Is the one weird one they have.
Oh, that won't be weird. They'll lose. They'll win by 40.
Correct. Yeah. So,
Iowa fans always think that's going to be interesting.
Their Big Ten schedule is against Oregon, at UCLA, against Northwestern, at Iowa, at Ohio State, against Indiana, at Michigan State, against Nebraska, at Rutgers.
Yeah, they just can't slip up twice.
No, they can't. Yeah, and really, I think the only team they would slip up against is Oregon, and I don't think Oregon's going to be even as close to as good as they were last year. So.
No, I don't think so either. But they'll be well coached, like always. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's a good one. I kind of like that angle too. But like the only thing is for me, with the conference play, is betting on James Franklin to win the big one. It's been like 10 years and he hasn't. I don't count beating Boise State in the playoff as winning the big one, because it wasn't. But he did get him up against Notre Dame, and Notre Dame was, outside of Ohio State, the best team they played all year. So
yeah,
I will give him some credit there. In the Big Ten, I kind of like Michigan, even though like I don't see the path forward. I wouldn't play them. I think they're like 8-1 now, or maybe even a little steeper than that. It could even be 10-1. I'm not quite sure. 8-1. I just don't see the path there, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I think Michigan's going to be a lot better than they were last year. I think it was kind of a bit of, getting gutted at the draft, at the championship team, half their team left, right? New coach. And just kind of a sour taste in everyone's mouth from last season. And they ended on a high note, too. I mean, they beat Ohio State in their rivalry game on the road, too, I think. And they really took it to Alabama in that bowl game as well. So I kind of like the direction this team's going to go, but like I don't see it as being bettable, just because like winning the conference, there's just too many really, really good teams in the Big Ten for me to wager that. Like I don't think they're going to be that good. I just think they're going to be really good. Like if they played all three of those other teams at the top, they could lose every game or they could win every game. Like I just don't know where the cards are going to fall for. So for me, that like wouldn't be playable.
Yeah.
But I kind of like your Penn State angle too. But Ohio State's going to be almost as good as last year. They're not going to be as good. They're still going to be really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if that. I think like Ryan Day's got the monkey off his back a little bit, so I don't think he's going to have that chip on his shoulder when it comes to playoff time. So like I don't see them winning it again. But like they're a good regular season team anyways. And if they didn't lose to Michigan last year, I don't even think they have that edge they needed to win. So
yeah, agreed.
Yeah. But let me bring one to the table here. We were talking about the Big 12 and like with the weird odds discrepancies. If you like longer shots, this is a conference to play. If you have a conviction on a certain team in this conference, take it in this conference. Arizona State's a favorite at 5-1 or plus 550. And then there's a scrum of teams under 10-1. It's like 5 or 6 teams. Vegas doesn't know who's winning this conference. Neither do we. But I like Utah. There's two teams I like in this conference to win it. First one's Utah. And it's kind of the same thing with Michigan, right? Yucky last year, sour taste in your mouth. Typically a pretty good team. But I think Cam Rising finally being out of the picture might be able to set this team up with their game plan and like be able to go through the whole season like with one guy. Because that's kind of been the story, right? You've liked Utah a lot. I like them a lot. The last 2 seasons, it's been, we have this really good high-profile game. Like I remember 2 years ago, I think they played Florida week 1. He hurts himself, and then this whole cycle started. It's not there anymore. Like we can just proceed with this is our guy now. Here we go. There's no, we got to get Cam ready to play, but we got to have the backup play for 3 games, and then Cam's good for a game and a half, even though he's not 100% healthy, and then he's hurt again, and now we're back to square one. So Kenny Dillingham, or not, what's his name?
Kyle Whittingham.
Whittingham. I was thinking Dillingham from Arizona State. But he's a fantastic coach. They're always competitive. Even last year, like they were kind of stinky on offense. They still were in all the games they played for the most part. I really like them. Just kind of a clear conscience play. Kind of can get back to playing their brand of football in a pretty open conference. The second one I like is Texas Tech. And I was thinking the same thing, like, these guys stink. No way I'd do that. Their win total's at 8.5, and I don't know why. I really don't know. Like, I'm not in the weeds about recruiting and who they're like. They got like the number 2 quarterback from Texas. I don't know any of that shit. To me, it just seems like, this team was super ass last year, and I shouldn't say they were super ass. They're just very frustrating, and it seemed like last year they always seemed to like shoot themselves in the foot. Or just get flat out blown out, one of the two. But from that perception in my mind from last year, now you're at an 8.5 win total, and you're 6-1 to win a conference in an open conference. It's like, maybe they have a legitimate chance to like play in the championship game, anyways. So, those are the two I really like.
I'm all about this Utah one. I feel like I might be mandated to take Utah. I don't know if you remember when we talked about this last year. I went all in on Utah last year.
You did, the whole board. Utah championship, Utah conference, Rising, Heisman, everything.
Make the playoffs, win the Big 12, Cam Rising to win Heisman.
I think you did their win total too.
And I did their win total. None of them happened. They weren't even close on any of them because, again, Cam Rising was hurt most of the year again, and they were rolling out 2 quarterbacks every single game. And what's the best saying in football? When you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. So that's kind of how Utah operated last year. I really like this pick. The defense is always really, really good. For whatever reason, this is like the most difficult home environment in all of college football. They're just unstoppable.
When the sun goes down, and
it's crazy in Salt Lake, wherever they are.
Yeah.
And, I really like this one too. This is also when I came into this saying I didn't have a lot of favorites. I actually really like this one too. I forgot.
Yeah.
Utah.
This is the ODS stamp of approval. Like it's going to be really good or really bad. You're going to know right away. Like they lose their first 3 games and it's over. But I think I'm going to wager this one. I really like this one.
I really like this one too. I might be with you on it. I think I have to just after last year. I think I just have to go back to the well. I think it's
but
I tend to do that in every sport.
100%. Like I remember my huge Red Wings nuke from like 3 years ago, and then it's like, okay, I'm going right back to them, and they got it done that time. So the only thing is, it's like you're doing a championship pick, so like that's a little different. But
yeah,
I kind of like the sentiment there. Like I don't think I'm off base either. Like I feel like most people are kind of discounting Utah just because of the struggles of the last 2 years, anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
You got any others? Because, like, for me, the rest of them are kind of unplayable.
That's how I am, too. I'll give my first unplayable one as we kind of jump into that. I don't want to say unplayable, but it's not. It just isn't really. Georgia Tech to win the ACC 12-1. They were weird last year. They were okay. They were good at times. They were really, really bad at times. They were really young last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really young team last year. I really liked the offense. They had a lot of gadgety guys, fun team to watch, but just never really got it done. It's a newer head coach as well. They play Clemson to open ACC play. So if you were to take it, it would either be dead on the spot or it would have so much
dead in 3 weeks.
Yeah, so like it's one of those plays where like it actually might be a really fun sweat, especially with them playing Clemson so early if they do find a way to beat Clemson. This is a team that I'm actually just going to look to back a lot in the regular season. I guess that's kind of what not necessarily teams that I'm actually playing to win their conference, but if it's any indication, this is a team I'm probably going to look to back a decent amount during this season.
Yeah, I think so too. And like they're typically pretty good against the spread as well. It's most of the time they're kind of playing above their weight class.
Yeah.
And they always seem to be ready for it. And their newer coach is a Spitfire too, so he gets them fired up. There was one more longer shot I was thinking about, and it is Miami, Ohio in the MAC. The MAC is very strange. If you guys partake in midweek MACtion, it's I'd say fairly volatile conference, but like when it's all done, it's all the season's over. It seems to be like the same 4 teams kind of in a revolving door of being competitive at the top of that conference. And in my brain, it's always colors. It's always red and green, and then occasionally blue when you get Buffalo. But I like Miami, Ohio. I know they're like the 4th odds-on favorite at 7-1, but they are always really good. It seems like every year you can pencil that team in for the conference championship game, and if it's not every year, it seems to be, at least in my mind, it's like 2 out of every 3 years they're involved in one way, shape, or form. This is one that like I might wait to play. Let them lose to Wisconsin first, and then maybe play it. You might get a couple bucks on it, but if that's the case, I might not even play it then. But that's kind of a square one, and I typically don't like doing those square ones, but like to me, it just seems like they're always in the mix. So like if I'm going to lose money, like if you're taking a longer one, I feel like that's a good direction to go.
Agreed. I like it. You got any others?
Not for conferences anyways. I'm not betting a fucking what's the stupid conference with Sam Houston and Conference USA. Fuck that conference. I'm not betting.
Kusa. All right, let's jump into some win totals then. I will kick off with one that I brought to the table that I liked, although the juice is, again, kind of makes it unplayable, but I still like it. Auburn over 7.5 wins. It is now -160. So if you were fortunate enough to get it before it was that, then congrats. I am with you right there. Schedule, I don't think is crazy. You've got Baylor, Ball State, South Alabama to start. That's 3 wins. And then the middle of the schedule is tough. You've got Oklahoma, A&M, and Georgia. And then you've got Mizzou, Arkansas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Mercer. And I think you can walk away with 4 wins there, and maybe you squeak out another one in there. I think they're going to take another step. The issue last year for me was quarterback play, and it was really, really bad last year. I don't know if it's going to be any better. It should be a little bit better, but that's really going to be the difference for this team. Like, are they going to have good enough quarterback play to do it? And I think they have really good wide receiver play. I'm really excited for Cam. I'm blanking on his last name, but their number 1 receiver. He was a freshman last year. He's a stud, really big receiver. This is just a team I think can do a little bit more. And they had 5 wins last year. I think they're trending in the right direction. The over 7.5 says that every bit of it, that they're trending in the right direction. And if you got it early, then that's great. I can't imagine I would play this at -160, but it is a total I like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not crazy about that one, but you like it, and that's good. If you like it, that's what matters. My opinion doesn't matter. Like for me, I don't like if I'm playing a win total, I don't like we might get 1 or 2 in there. But like you have to do that to some point. But I don't know. Their quarterback play was real bad, and it's hard to win games when you don't have good quarterback play. And it's not it's just that the middle stretch. Like, you're right. Like, I don't know if they'll beat Baylor. They should, but
They should.
yeah, they should. So, like, ideally, yeah, you're at a 3-0 start, and like maybe you're getting top 25 votes, depending. But I don't know. That one's big risk. But hey, you gotta risk it, right?
Got to take a shot.
Yeah, I was just poo pooing that one, and I'm like, ooh, Nebraska. I don't know why, but I really like this Nebraska schedule. Let me pull it back up. I think I closed it. This is another one where it's like, oh, there's a lot of question marks. So I don't know if I would play this one, but in my initial run through, I kind of saw this one materialize. Like, I think they beat Cincinnati and Akron. If they don't beat Houston Christian, program should be abolished. So you're at 3-0. Then you get Michigan, which is probably a loss. Michigan State, so now you're at 4-1. Maryland, you're at 5-1. This is where the toss-ups happen. Let's just say they lose to Minnesota on the road. So we're 5-2. Northwestern, 6-2. USC, UCLA, Penn State, and Iowa. I think you would just need to win 2 of those 4. And realistically, you're not beating Penn State, but I think they can beat USC at home, and I think they can beat Iowa at home. I think they can beat UCLA on the road, too. I'm not crazy about UCLA either. So, like, that's potentially 9 wins if everything goes according to plan. 10 if they beat Minnesota. I don't think they're going to win 10 games, but I really like this Nebraska look, too. They're kind of playing the laggards in the Big Ten this year. I mean, Michigan State and Maryland, Northwestern, UCLA. I kind of like that play a lot. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, or if it's just like that's not worth it to me. But I like that one. I might play that one.
I think when we run down the schedule, I like it, but again, probably not. I'm not a big. I'm not super high on Riola, although I do like. What's their head coach's name?
Matt Rule.
Yes, I do like what he did last year. I thought they took a couple of steps in the right direction at times, and it was a pretty high and low season for them. So I could definitely see them ironing out and landing somewhere in that range. Again, Penn State, I really like over 10.5. It was plus 120. It is now down to even money, depending on where you're looking. So another one that I really like. That's the more likely play for me there. So that's what I like in the Big Ten. Let's just stick in the Big Ten. Let's just talk about this because we have to. Wisconsin. Over under is 5.5. This seems to be like the most popular under in the entire country. Like this is the one that everyone has been saying. And first of all, I don't think that the Badgers are worse than they were last year. No. I think that they are getting better and they have a far worse schedule. I think arguably they have the toughest schedule in maybe the country. Maybe.
Outside of like an SEC team, probably, yeah.
Even some of them. I mean, even
but
some
of I mean, like
teams.
Yeah, like I agree just with the mixture of non-conference opponents, just because there aren't really any cupcakes in that schedule for the most part outside of Tennessee State or Middle Tennessee, whatever you said.
So they open up Miami of Ohio, Jake's MAC winner, Middle Tennessee State, who they should handle, but for whatever reason, the Badgers always struggle in these stupid non-conference games. So
they end up winning by like 3 touchdowns, but they're losing at halftime. It's like what?
In Tuscaloosa. Then you've got Maryland. That's a win. So let's just assume those two go. They're at 3. Mm-hmm. Michigan, loss. Iowa at home, loss. Ohio State, loss. At Oregon, loss. Washington at home, win.
I think they win that game. Yeah.
So they need 2 wins in their last 3 games at Indiana, versus Illinois, at Minnesota for the Axe. I don't see it happening.
I don't either, but it's like the contrarian in me speaking in combating the realist. Right?
It is plus 150 to the over.
That's the thing. That's the only thing that is making me pause on it because it's very, very juiced. And even my buddies in my group chat are like, Wisconsin's going to be bad this year. That schedule's tough. And like, yes, it is. but something's just like, what if they prove them wrong?
What if they beat Illinois? If they go,
what if they beat Alabama? That would be crazy.
Tuscaloosa would not exist, and it would be burned down.
It would be gone.
It would fire everybody, and everything that I've said about Alabama would be so incorrect.
But yeah, that is outside the realm of likelihood. But I mean, there's a path there if they can win all of the rivalry games, the trophy games. If they can beat Iowa, if they can beat Illinois, if they can beat Minnesota, if they can do those three things, like you could even get 6 or 7. But I don't see that as likely. I think they can beat Iowa at home this year just because Iowa's a totally different football team from last year. Or I'm sorry, from 2 years ago. Like, that defense isn't as good, but their offense is much better. I think they're a lot more gettable, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't think Iowa has the offensive capability to keep up with most other teams if they need to score. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can score, but like it's still kind of the slow, methodical Iowa. And that defense is definitely not as good, or at least it wasn't last year, but I wouldn't count on that staying. So, like, there's a world where it happens, but like it's not a likely world. I don't know. But I might just have to play it out of principle. Keep me vested in them. I might have to.
It's the only way you're going to watch them.
Yeah, even though I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
it's just super juiced. It's like plus 150.
Yeah, it's like minus
180 to the under. It's like, and that's one where like everyone's talking about how bad Wisconsin's going to be, and like we kind of know, we live in Wisconsin, and we live in the college that we live where they play, so like people talk about it, and no one seems optimistic about them. So that might be like the perfect recipe for a 6-win season.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I
Let's
might
move
be too.
To this is a really gross one. We sort of talked about it. Arizona.
Oh no! See, I like the under. It's so gross.
There's a world.
There definitely is. Like, they could win 3 games or they can win 8. I don't know. That's the only thing stopping me.
And they were bad last year. Like, this is not a good team. They opened with Hawaii at home.
Could lose.
Probably a loss, realistically. Weber State, win. Kansas State, loss. Iowa State,
yeah, I would think so.
Loss. Oklahoma State.
That's probably a win, but it seems like Oklahoma State is going to be pretty bad.
BYU,
but like bad plus bad equals I don't know.
BYU, who I also think is going to be bad. Could be.
I think they lose that game.
All right, so even if they do.
Yeah, right. Okay, but I'm not trying to interrupt your thoughts. Just continue.
Houston, win.
Yeah, probably.
Colorado.
Loss.
Honestly, sort of.
You would know better than me, but probably a loss.
I think it's going to be closer to a coin flip than people think. I'm really curious. You'll know about that game by like week 2. I want to see what the Colorado team looks like without Shedeur.
Oh, they'll fold like a cheap tent if week 1 goes badly. Yeah.
Yeah. Kansas, loss. Cincinnati,
probably a loss.
Baylor, win.
Probably a win.
We're sitting at and then Arizona State, which is probably a loss.
That's I think we did 5 right there, right? Yeah.
And it's that's banking on them losing to Hawaii, which I think they're going to. But
yeah, like that one, like I like that under, but I think
it's gross.
Clinically insane to play. If the juice keeps getting higher and higher, I might do it. If it's at 5.5, like if I open my book and somehow it's at 5.5 because of our weird ass lines, I don't even think you use them anymore. Good for you. But if some reason it's 5, I'm smashing. I'm gonna do it. Like, that's my window.
You got any in the Big 12?
I like that under. I think you said you like that over. 4.5 just looks really easy.
No, it's
And
5.5.
I saw 4.5.
I see 5.5 on DraftKings right now. I don't know where you saw 4.5. If you saw 4.5 somewhere, then might want to jump the over.
Oh, see?
Arizona Wildcats over under 4.5. Interesting.
Well, that's why it's not crazy juice if you see 5.5.
I do, yeah. I see a crazy juice.
Is yours juice? Oh, is the one you saw juice to the over?
No, juice to the under.
Is it?
Minus 115 for under.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking at 4.5. It's plus 130. That's aggressive.
Oh, I would take that.
I would need to see what mine looks like. What?
Plus money for the over? I would consider that. For 4.5, I would consider that.
Well, yeah, it depends what it is, but 4.5 maybe. If I open my book and it's got 5.5, probably hitting the under. But I don't know. That one's pretty gross. But I like gross.
A little bit yucky.
Yeah. All right. I've got one last one. NC State in the ACC. Maybe my perception of the ACC is distorted because I ran the numbers in my head and I had NC State off to like a 6-0 start. I was like, wait, what? But see, the only problem is they lost to East Carolina in their bowl game last year, and I remember explicitly betting East Carolina money line in that bowl game. And they play East Carolina week 1. Week 1. I'm going to consider it a win just because, opt-outs in the bowl games. It's like you kind of have to discard bowl games. Did they play them last year? No. Okay, so I was counting it as a win. Now, the problem with this is every game is a coin flip. So when I run these numbers for like a win total, I'm not necessarily doing will they win this game. It's more so can they win this game. And there are all but 2 games that I see them having the potential of winning, or I think they're going to win. East Carolina, Virginia, Wake Forest, Duke, Virginia Tech, Campbell. That is literally like they could be 6-0. Notre Dame's a loss. But NC State, from what I remember, always seems to play Notre Dame close. Not like NC State's playing like they're good. It's like Notre Dame likes to struggle. They're always good for that. Pitt, Georgia Tech, Miami, which is the second like sure loss. Florida State, UNC. Like I look at that, I'm like, damn, they could win 9 games, or they could win 4. I don't know.
But the upside is there.
100%. Like if every coin flip goes their way, they might be in the fucking playoff. But they dropped 2 of them. We're still good. Like the ACC, the fluff of the ACC, it's coin flip. So I think this is my favorite win total that I'm gonna play this one. I think I'm gonna play it pretty good. I really like this one.
I'm into it. I like it. I might join you on that.
Yeah.
I just
feel about the ACC. What?
I just don't know how to feel about the ACC as a whole.
No, well, see, that's the thing. Like
they're consistently one of the more competitive teams.
Yeah, they typically are.
If they didn't,
and they had a bowl game last year.
Yeah,
that they lost to a Sun Belt team, but they had a bowl game.
Yeah,
win totals are tough, but I really like that. That's probably my favorite one. That one right there is probably my favorite one. So, and did you run down the Penn State one again, or you
I ran that already? So yeah. That one is probably my favorite, but I might play that NC State one with you. That one's kind of fun.
Yeah, we should fade each other on one and play one together. That would be kind of fun. Like you go over Arizona, I go under. Yeah, we play. Actually, if we were to do 3, we should fade each other on one. So like you take the over in Arizona. I think that one's going under.
That's a gross one.
Or the Auburn one. Maybe the Auburn one would be better.
Yeah,
like you go over, I go under. That one would probably be better.
I'm more convinced on that one than Arizona.
Okay. Yeah. Then we ride out NC State. And then we just do one that we know is gonna lose, but in case like we both play Wisconsin just in case. Even though that
would actually be
not hitting.
I actually like that. Just in case. I thought you were going back to Ball State. Ball State over 3.5.
Ball State, no way. Can I get an over under on Houston Christian?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think you can do FCS.
Oh.
Anything else? We can wrap
this
up.
Make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube and the Substack to get this every week. Make sure you're following us on Twitter because this will be live for week 0 next week. Probably on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. We'll be live on, assuming maybe Tuesday night, and then
whenever
breaking down week 0, and then we'll be into a more consistent format where we're probably live on Thursday or Friday breaking down the week slate. But week 0 is a little bit funky, so probably just talk about a couple of games. There's not a whole lot to talk about with week 0, but it's college football nonetheless. So we will see you next week.